Nadia, hey.
Yeah.
You know it's time for your presentation, right? Wait, are you texting right now?
No, I'm not texting. I'm on Facebook. Ismaila, I have 368 Facebook friends, okay? And they all need to know what I'm doing at this exact moment in time.
Let me see that.
Okay? Yeah, thanks.
About to give presentation in front of 200 people, definitely famous. Here,
Actually, can you keep it and take some pictures of me? I got to post on Facebook, Ismaila. God, these CBC media personalities think they own the place. Okay, so maybe I'm a little bit obsessed with Facebook. And it seems for many of us, things like emails and Facebook and texting and Twitter play a big role in how we communicate with each other. But how many of us take the time to make the space and find a place to have an actual real-life conversation with someone we don't even know, or with someone from a completely different community? And I'm not talking about small talk, isn't the weather great, go Jets go, and breaking news, we're 4 up, end of second. I'm talking about deep, meaningful conversation. The kind of conversation that can change your point of view, or change your way of thinking. Welcome to the Conversation Cafe. So what is a Conversation Cafe? Conversation Cafe is basically a place for a hosted conversation amongst a diverse group of people. And let me be clear, I'm talking about real-life human beings sitting next to one another, not in front of a computer screen. These cafes are about talking to one another, asking those questions you wouldn't normally get the chance to ask, listening to one another, sharing our wisdom and our stories with one another. Conversation cafes are one of the easiest and most effective ways of building bridges, not only between individuals, but also between communities. And building bridges, that really is the theme of tonight's whole event. A conversation cafe is all about asking powerful questions. So while the conversations themselves are spontaneous, cafes have a certain format that we follow. And that's structured around a cafe host putting forth a series of powerful questions to the group and for them to discuss within their conversations. So what is a powerful question? It's a good idea for you to brainstorm some questions before the cafe. Number one, a powerful question has to be relevant to you and the people around you. It should be one that has the potential to let you learn about others. It has to generate some kind of hope or imagination or the possibility for new ideas, and it has to be a genuine question, one that you actually don't know the answer to. Now, post 9/11, there was a rapid increase in the number of conversation cafes happening across North America. After such a devastating event, people had this need to share their stories with one another and try and make sense of what had happened. So let's look at some examples of powerful questions that were common in those cafes. Number one, how did 9/11 change your life? And you can kind of think about how you'd respond to this. Number two, where do you see reason for hope? And number three, what are you now called to do? Look at the first question. Notice how it addresses your head. The second question addresses your heart. And the third question addresses a need for action. Now, it's really hard to understand just what a conversation cafe is like unless you're in one of them. And oh my God, there's a conversation cafe right here on this stage. So weird. And look, so diverse. Muslim, Mennonite, Aboriginal, it's just beautiful. Now, let's say in this situation, I'm the cafe host. I've got to make sure everyone feels comfortable, everyone's contributing to the discussion, and let's assume now that they've done all the introductions and icebreakers. The cafe host is responsible for putting forward those powerful questions that we talked about. So before you all go rushing out to start your own cafes, some cafe don'ts. Do not make eye contact. I'm kidding, folks, you can make eye contact. Number one, don't debate Conversation cafes are about dialogue. They're about learning from each other, finding common ground. They're not about converting the other person to your point of view. Number 2, don't dominate the conversation. Pretty self-explanatory, and it is up to the host to make sure that everyone feels comfortable enough to talk. Number 3, don't be afraid to change the format of the cafe to fit your own surroundings. The best thing about the cafe is that you can do it at work, at university, in your community center, in your place of prayer. There really is no hard and fast rule. The whole point is just to get a bunch of people together, to talk to one another, ask the questions that they wouldn't normally get the chance to ask. And number 4, don't be scared to step out of your comfort zone. And so can you imagine Winnipeg with all these little hubs of cafes bringing different communities together? Where is that going to lead us in 5 years, 10 years? Hopefully a city where we understand more about each other's communities as well as our own. If there's one thing you remember from my presentation, never underestimate the power of conversation. Thank you very much. And Ismaila, I need my iPhone back right now.